Hey everyone, it is that time of the month, our special crossover episode of Group Text and Behind the Velvet Rope. Hello, David.
Hello, Melissa. How are you?
I'm pretty good. And yourself?
I'm doing well, right? Like we can't complain. The summer's over. We're moving into some fall weather. Kind of excited.
I'm wearing a sweater.
Is it hot in LA? Is it cool?
It's not hot, but it's not really cold. We're having a lot of like marine layer.
That's similar to what's going on here. There's some leaves turning here.
Yeah. Well, we have so much to discuss. Okay, first off, and you're in New York. Diddy. Like, this is insane.
It's insane, right? You know, and it's really like, I said this the other day, like, and not to compare it to all these other cases, but like Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, R. Kelly, I wasn't really fully invested in so many of these cases, but I agree with you. There's something about this. I am so into this. It's kind of insane. So what? He's officially arrested and charged with sex trafficking and conspiracy or racketeering.
Sex trafficking, covering it all up, guns. I mean, the list goes on. And obviously, I think people are obsessed because of all the celebrity names involved. So, first of all, how did he get away with this for so long? Because this was not a small, intimate ring of friends that this was going on. If you have 1,000 bottles of lube and baby oil, it's like going into like Costco time.
Yeah, and that is right. It's like major shipments on Amazon. It's, and that is the strange thing. Like the whole racketeering part is they're alleging like his staff was in on this. Like the people that worked for him covered it up, aided, purchased products. Like that's what's crazy. Like how did all these people know allegedly and this didn't get out sooner?
And that's what's amazing is, again, we go back to the scope of people involved, that nobody talked, nobody threw up a flag. And you got to imagine that all of these people were not happy. This wasn't a lot of happy guests and employees. And the fact that they had male escorts having sex with the women and videotaping, and they had like an IV hydration station to keep it going. How much did this cost him to keep it going?
Well, I think when you have certain hobbies and you have money, you don't really care how much it costs, Melissa.
It was like racehorses or this, like that kind of level of money.
It was racehorses or this. And I understand like you sign an NDA, but like you didn't have the same staff for 10 years or however long. Like people left and nobody wanted to you heard whispers, but I agree with you. I don't know how this didn't get out.
Especially the size of it.
Yeah.
That's what's so mind-blowing. He is in jail, no bail. Even though he offered to turn over his passport, he put his $50 million house up as collateral. He offered everything. And they're so worried that he is either going to flee or exert so much pressure over people that they'll be scared.
Look, I could understand the no bail because, what I don't understand, I understand the no bail, right? You hand over your passport, great. You're going to give someone $10 million to like fly you illegally across some border and let you into some country. It's probably going to work, right? Like, I don't think that should be the barrier. Yeah. So there's that. What I don't understand is like is it arrogance? Like how did he not flee? Like your home was already raided. What was it? 2 months ago, 3 months? I lose track of time. And so it's like, I think you should have fled then. It was pretty clear what's going to happen. Like if the feds come knocking, So is it, and you know, and I don't know, did you see those videos where he was taking selfies and autographs on the streets of New York, like the day before he was arrested? Like, did he not think? Does he not realize? Did he think he was above the law and they raided your house and they were just going to go away? I don't know.
Absolutely, 100%. It's arrogance. And that, what is that saying? Something before the fall. There's some big proverby.
You make all your little mistakes right before the big fall.
No, it's something much more profound that I can't think of. Not ego. Anyway, it's the arrogance. I obviously he thought he was completely untouchable. Joke's on him. So far, I think my favorite part of this, though, is he is complaining about the accommodations in the jail.
Yes, which also makes me think you're still not in touch with what is actually happening to you. Like, it's only, and granted, now this is supposed to be one of the bad ones. That's where Epstein was and all this. But yes, I don't know what you're expecting, guy. This might be the rest of your life. So,
yeah. You know, it's, I do think that you should be given a clean, hygienic space. Just that I would think is basic what it should be. Obviously, we know that's not what it is. But, I mean, what is he expecting them to bring in, like, his frette sheets?
Yeah. I mean, think about it. He must be miserable.
Well.
I know. I mean, I'm not feeling sorry for him. I'm just like, if this hasn't shocked your system for what's to come, I mean, I think you're just still out of touch. And yeah, there are so many celebrity names that are coming out now.
But what's interesting is he used to have this very famous white party. It was called in the Hamptons. And every major celebrity was there. And people are getting very anxious because they keep coming out and saying, no, this happened in 2010. This was a completely different situation. Already it's coming out. Khloe Kardashian partied with Justin Bieber. And this one, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Getting invited to that white party was a coveted invitation. One that I never received, but I think I'm good with that now.
Well, we still have a white party. It's just been taken over by someone else. It's not. But I also have not been invited, just for whatever that's worth.
That makes me always feel better. If you ever go, I'm your plus one. If I ever go, you're my plus one.
Please.
Even though I'm not allowed to wear my shoes in your house. But that's a different topic.
You are not allowed, but you can stay with me in the Hamptons if you come out for the white party.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
But all these stories are coming out, and all these celebrities are freaking out that suddenly their names are involved. But the biggest one that you and I have both heard is concerned is Jennifer Lopez. She was his girlfriend for quite a while. The first time we really took note of her on a red carpet was the year that she went with Diddy and wore the famous green Versace dress. That launched her into the fashion world. And they were together a decent amount of time. He helped produce her first big album. She was there with the club shooting. I remember her standing on the steps of the courts in New York in a big white fur. And there was something so 1940s glamorous about it in a strange way. She's got to be like, I don't need any more drama right now.
She's not having the best year of her life, is she?
No, she is not.
This is the year. I mean, look, the movie didn't do great. The album didn't do great. We have this thing with Ben.
The ticket sales at the concert were not good.
And then it was canceled.
And then they had to cancel it. I don't think this is the year she's going to write, Dear Diary, this was the best year ever.
No, she's going to be doing some New Year's resolution, and it's all going to be I think New Year's is going to be all about J-Lo and what she's looking forward to in 2025 and how, like, it's just going to be the year of her. But yeah, I mean, she should be worried, like, not that she did anything, but that's a long time. Like, they did date for a while, right?
And, you know, you can't obviously hold her. I don't think that this was going on then. You know, that's sort of my thought on that. I seriously doubt that was happening when they were dating. This feels like something that's evolved over time. Just a guess.
But when there is a trial, like, who will be called? Like, that's what's going to be interesting. Like, I think the name of celebrities, it could be like an interesting thing to watch, right?
Oh, it's going to be great court watching.
Yeah, it's going to be like a who's who.
It is. So we have some other things to catch up on. Have you watched The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives?
No, but I know that the world has taken over and everyone is, and someone just is separated now. I just saw something about that. I think someone named Whitney or something.
Yes,
I don't know,
Whitney.
it could be, she just got separated. I've not watched it. Have you watched it?
I have watched it. It feels to me very Real Housewives. So if you're a Real Housewives fan, I think you will fully buy in. I personally got very confused. First of all, there are so many storylines going on, and they're jumping from past to present and then recalling when something happened, and it got sort of all scrambled in my head. But what's fascinating to me is this started with a group of moms that started something that became a big deal called Mom Talk. And they would do all these videos. They had huge sponsorships. They were making money. It comes out that they were all the major breadwinners in their homes. And it's exploded. It's kind of fascinating. It's very Real Housewives in the drama aspect. And I know I'm not great on keeping all the housewives straight. But again, they all look alike, so I'm very confused. You can only tell because people's hair changes style.
And there's a lot of them, right? Isn't there a lot of them?
There's a lot of them. A lot. Definitely worth a watch.
I'll put it on my list. I mean, there's just so much to watch now, isn't there? But yes, Mom Talk, and it really, look, we know they're going to get a second season. They're going to be around for a long time. It's a huge hit. Hulu really wants to be in this game. I mean, they have the Kardashians, but they really want to be in the game like all the others.
I think it's again, it's there's just sort of an insatiable appetite right now in the public you cannot make enough content fast enough.
Utah is hot right now.
So what is going on? You started to tell me the other day what is going on in Utah.
Well, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is back in our lives. And let me tell you, it's so good. It's so good. And I'm the first one to say a season of now, granted, we just started. We're like 2 episodes in. But it's so good. It's all stars. Everyone is like off their rocker just enough to be entertaining. I mean, we are fighting over bath bombs. One woman, Meredith Marks, she loves to take baths, and that was kind of like a thing on the show that they made a thing, and someone joked that she would come up with a bath bomb, and like maybe she's going to come up with one. Well, this other woman, Whitney Rose, came up with one. She claims she's been selling it since 2008, and Meredith is personally offended and says it is an attack on her that Whitney is now selling bath bombs. This is real. This is an actual storyline. Now, as dumb as you think that sounds, it's just not. It is just, it's just epic. Where did they find this cast? It's so good.
And they came out of the gate, like you said, just started strong. And there's a newbie. And Mary Cosby is back full time, or not? Yeah, Cosby or Crosby?
Cosby, but everyone says Crosby
because there is an actress named Mary Cosby.
Oh well, there you go.
There you go.
No, she is back full time, and she is just, we learned that if you eat a huge piece of red meat, it sits in you, it doesn't digest, so she's no interest in this. I mean, it is just like everyone is having their own conversation. Everyone is, see, you're laughing and you haven't even watched it. Like, you can picture this. You can picture everyone is bringing it. It's just so good. And I don't say great things about all the Housewife franchises these days. So just everybody let me be happy and relish in this, that I'm thoroughly enjoying it so far.
And the new one wore like some $15,000 Saint Laurent coat. I mean, how much money do these women have?
Well, now mind you, it's this heart coat, so it's like shaped like a heart, and it's like literally red fur. Now look, you know what you're doing. You've gotten the job. Your first scene. Good for you for at least knowing, because when you get Housewives, they really don't. It's like the cameras are rolling. They don't try to make you interesting, and we all know sometimes you fall flat. And you could. This one right out of the gate, she gets it. She's going to be around. According to her, there's only 2 others in the world. One is Rihanna's, and one is in a museum. They show the picture of Rihanna wearing it. Yes, she's got a $15,000 Saint Laurent coat, which is shaped like a heart. So I imagine now that she's worn this in this scene, we'll never see it again. I mean, I don't know how much you could wear that.
I can only imagine that it must be very hard to get in and out of a car.
It seems like it.
And get a seatbelt around it. Staying on our Housewives vibe. Yeah. You told me something that I did not know. Nene Leakes was back on E! She hosted the Emmy party, or the after party carpet.
The red carpet with Ariana. I can't believe you didn't know this.
I had no idea. No idea. And so okay, walk me through this.
Well, she got the job. I mean, I didn't even realize. I mean, of course, we're using Ariana, who just hosted Love Island and did a great job, and she's everyone's, darling. Yeah, Nene tweeted out like a few days before, like, great to be home, #NBC. And so no one's telling her not to acknowledge it. I'm sure she was dying to send this tweet. Like, look at all of you who've counted me out of the NBC family. And people started going crazy on the blogs, and she hosted the after show red carpet with Ariana, and she showed up, she did the job, and this is E! As you know, you worked at E! You worked with Nene. You were her executive producer.
And a co-host with her.
And a co-host on Fashion Police.
What everyone's forgetting is she sued NBC, which what people don't know is they're the umbrella, and it's Bravo and E! And Peacock. It goes on, Peacock. It goes on and on and on. She sued the network. Yeah. And then they hired her. I mean, I just think that had to be a whole lot of red tape for HR.
Right? I mean, look, I still can't believe you didn't know this, but I have sat here because I used to be in HR back in another life, and I sat here, and I mean, my lovely listeners, they're always so wonderful. They love telling me when I've been completely wrong. I sat around for weeks and months saying that you can do anything pretty much and you still be invited back to Housewives, but you can't really sue the corporation and ever come back. Well, apparently I was wrong, because here we are. So is that true? Because, I mean, if you're like in some marketing job at an office and you burn the place down, you still might be able to come back, but we never let someone come back that sued us. Is Hollywood just like, we just don't care, we will turn a blind eye if we need you?
I guess. I mean, I was shocked because it was, at least in public, it was quite contentious. And she leveled some pretty harsh allegations.
Yeah, and here she is. Now, I said on Behind the Velvet Rope, because this is our crossover, I said, why couldn't they have gotten Melissa? Or, I mean, we could go on, not just to compliment you, but they could have gotten you. We could have, I'm just trying to get you work over here, Melissa.
I appreciate that.
We could have gotten, Carson Kressley, Brad Goreski, Rachel's. I mean, I could think of 1,000 names in fashion. Xana Roberts Rossi, Nina Garcia. We can keep going. Like, she wasn't, no offense to Nene, she did a great job, but she wasn't needed for this. We have a long list of people that are qualified in the fashion world to have done this job. So what is this?
Is this a soft launch in coming back to Housewives?
It could be. Because why else? Why Nene? I mean, you worked at on Fashion Police. Like, what? I mean, can you make sense of this? She's good.
She's really good at her job. Mm-hmm. She brings a lot of eyeballs. She's, with fashion especially. The woman has the best shoes I've ever seen in any human being's closet. My jaw used to drop every week on Fashion Police just from her shoe wardrobe.
Really?
Spectacular. And I'm a shoe person. And I tip my hat to that shoe closet. It's amazing. So I think, just after thinking it through, because they kept it really quiet.
Yeah.
Is this a soft launch back into Atlanta?
It might be, because it might be. You know what I mean? Why else Nene? And I'm not taking anything away from her. She was great on Fashion Police. Let's face it, no one has a one-liner as well. Your mother did.
Right.
But besides her, no one has a one-liner the way that Nene does, right?
No.
She's great at the job. She did great, but still, that doesn't matter when you sue a company. So I would think this has to be something of a like, let's just test this out and see where it lands. You know, did she send a lot of texts after? Is she upset with her edit? Is she, you know, this? Does she want, you know, more money? Does she want more? Or did she just show up and have nice and do the job and thank you, everyone? And just everyone's watched and we liked her. And I think it's just a let's see how this lands to open the door. I mean, we've already filmed next season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's over. We had Kenya Moore, who I thought was the star of the next season. She got fired during it for
Why did she get fired? Oh, for inappropriate.
She took a picture. One of her castmates apparently posted a picture of herself, like sucking a dick or something to that effect. And it's on the internet. I think it's public. So it wasn't like revenge porn, but Kenya brought it to an event and unveiled these huge posters that she had blown up. So you're laughing. It's funny. And a lot of people are on Kenya's side. Like a lot of the Atlanta housewives that are not there anymore, like Candy, have said, like, since when? I mean, isn't the job to push, like, this is Kenya, that's the job. Since when do we have limits? Well, I mean, we have had Bethany and the Reality Reckoning and Carolyn Manzo suing. And so Kenya lost her job in the middle of the season. So I don't know if we're going to show her or we're just going to edit her out. Then they brought Phaedra back to replace Kenya in like the last 2 episodes. So to me, this season is going to be just a total disaster. Nobody I talk to is excited for the next season. It's not going to make any sense. We're just now going to edit somebody out or have them disappear after 2 episodes. It's almost like I think Bravo's saying, like, we know the next season of Atlanta Housewives is going to be so bad. We're going to need a big plan after that of what to do. And there is no big plan, really, other than Nene. So maybe.
But you just mentioned Phaedra.
Yes.
Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing with the Stars, I don't know where I've been. I mean, I watched it a first season, second season, whatever. But I put it on, I said goodbye to it somewhere after God knows how many seasons. I think this is like the 32nd season. But I'm back. Oh my God. We have Phaedra, we have Tori Spelling, we have Anna Delvey, who's getting her ankle monitor bedazzled. We have Pummel Horse guy, Steven Niederostic, is that his last name?
Yes, yeah. I mean, I think it's super fun. I think it's a very fun, big personality cast. I was like you. I was really in, and then I kind of just drifted away. Mm-hmm. But this cast, the woman who played Rugby, I mean, the casting this year they're spinning off the people from the Olympics, so they're already still in the public zeitgeist. Zeitgeist? Yes. Yeah.
Here we are, 2 educated people. I mean, you went to Penn, so you're really educated, and we don't even know this word here.
And we work in language, which is very strange. Anyway, they've spun off all these stories, but the big one that everyone's talking about is Tori, because she has turned it down every single year. She has been on their list for at least the last 10 years, and she finally said yes.
She said yes. Like, look, her and Shannon Doherty were really good friends during 90210. They had a falling out after Shannon got fired and Tori couldn't stick up for herself and she went with the rest of the cast. And then they really were estranged. I mean, I am a huge Shannon Doherty fan. So I just really am. Like, I've been very vocal about that. I've met her many times. Shannon was on my top list of who I wanted on my podcast. But so her and Tori did come back together because Shannon was very, like, she knew she had stage 4 cancer. She knew it was, so she really was making amends, and they really bonded and came back So Shannon would say, I mean, there are podcasts about this, like to Tori, like, you mean, you're 51. You have to, when are you going to just open your mouth and have like a backbone and like stand up for her? And Tori is very open about the fact that, you know, she never gave herself. So she's really worked Shannon into this story. She's like, this is why I'm doing it. And I mean, it's kind of interesting. And I believe, I mean, everyone else on 902 is on Dancing with the Stars, including Shannon. I believe Tori was asked. Like, she's not making that up.
Oh, of course she was asked. That is 100%. But by the way, the thing that I keep thinking about with Anna Delvey and the ankle monitor, that's got to make some lifts difficult. Like, where do you put your hand? Do you go below the monitor or above the monitor? They're bedazzling the monitor. There is just something that I love about her being there, which is just, again, you can go to jail and do these crazy crimes and you're on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, and there was a lot of controversy about that. I think, was it Whitney? I mean, was it Whoopi? I think Whoopi slammed her. I think Whoopi was really against her being on, and I think she slammed Whoopi back. A lot of people, I mean, I love it. I'm like, bring her on, but a lot of people are like, yes, you do the crime. Why are you on the TV? I'm okay with it, but a lot of people were not. I think Whoopi was one of the very vocal ones against it.
Yeah, it's hard to set an example to the next generation where we're literally saying that crime pays.
Well, look at Gypsy Rose. I mean,
oh, yeah, crime pays.
She has a TV show. I mean, I'm shocked that she's not on there.
Well, there's always next season.
Yes, there's always next season.
Okay, and this was the thing you and I talked about the other day because we are both big Ryan Murphy fans.
Obsessed.
It is like Ryan Murphy month this month. It is crazy. So he has the new American Horror Story coming out, and that's the one that Travis Kelce is in. There was another one, and then the Menendez show. And for anyone who didn't watch Swans, go back and watch it. It was amazing. He is just phenomenal. But the Menendez brothers apparently are not happy.
They're not. And, you know, Rosie O'Donnell actually just spoke out, too, about this. She's spoken out throughout the years about that they shouldn't be in jail because, like, she suffers from abuse and, like, they were abused. And believe it or not, and Kim Kardashian and the actor that plays either Eric or Lyle just went to visit the Menendez brothers in jail. Somehow, since we spoke yesterday, I've read all this today. And apparently the two brothers were just together for the first time. I don't know if they got together to make a statement together, but yes, they're not happy with it. And they said that like Ryan purposely went out of his way to like, I guess that he had ill intents because there's no way that he's trying to represent the facts because the facts are so not what actually happened.
Ryan's out to make a good show. First and foremost.
Yeah.
I mean, he did a great job on OJ. But again,
all of it.
I find it hard to believe that a producer, director, writer, showrunner, creator like Ryan Murphy walks into any project saying, I'm going to make them look bad. He's out to make the most interesting TV show. And at this point, I think people know that Ryan Murphy's telling of a lot of these stories is very heightened, that it's based on actual events, but it's also from a point of view, and it's you know, hard to you can't say it's nonfiction, I guess is my point. It is based on, and I just was like, really? They're now coming out. And I understand why they're coming out. But you know what it does? It makes ratings better. That's all it does.
It makes ratings better. And I don't really know what they meant. Like, I think part of it was they meant, like, look, if you watch the trailer, it is very homoerotic. Now, there was undertones of that in the story. That's the whole story. But I think they're implying, like, you know, but I mean, again, it is Ryan Murphy. Like, have you watched any of these other shows? Like, I mean, I'm all here for it. Like, I can't watch this fast enough. Now, I don't know when I'm going to watch this, but I'll probably watch it before Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Like, I am so excited for this.
By the way, I'm going to think that Ryan Murphy shows are not big in prison top of the list for viewing.
Probably not.
I'm going to give them that bye.
Well, I mean, are we going to have a Diddy, an American Crime Story Diddy next? Probably.
Of course. That is so his vibe. What's interesting, though, is he absolutely leans into bringing on people to his shows that are not traditionally actors. And I don't know how he does it, but he gets really solid performances out of the people. Go back and watch Kim in the one that aired last year. And this is the big one with Travis Kelce. He looks great in the trailers.
First of all, you must be so happy for your boy Travis Kelce. I saw something. Apparently, he's not looking so good, sitting on the sidelines or something. Something just happened.
But everyone's saying he doesn't. He looks unhappy because Taylor's not at the game. No, he looks unhappy because he's playing well, but they're shutting him down, so he's frustrated. Yeah, he's not unhappy because Taylor isn't there. I'm sure on a personal level he is, but that's not why he's sitting and moping on the sidelines. To me, he just looks frustrated, and that's definitely because of the game.
They're not letting him play somehow.
No, they are letting him play, but all the other teams have really figured out how to cover him and how to shut him down, and he and Mahomes have this big relationship, and he is there when he needs him, but I think he's frustrated because he's not being used as much because they're almost using him as a decoy.
That makes sense.
You're like, I could so care less about this. But
no, I mean, like, I get it. Like, they've studied him so much, they figured out what he's going to do. Well, he needs to come up with some new moves, it sounds like.
You know what?
Yes.
Easier said than done.
Have I just solved all the problems for football?
Absolutely everything. But that's why he looks mopey. But it's going to be fascinating.
He looks good in the trailer, yeah.
How he does. Because this is talk about soft launch versus hard launch. This is a hard launch.
This is a hard launch. I mean, Kim apparently is going to be doing more acting. We all know once Ryan Murphy gets his hands on you, if he likes you, I mean, we got lots of parts and lots of options here. I mean, I'm excited for him. I mean, look, he's going to keep hurting himself out on the field. Doesn't Taylor want him taken away from that and just protected on a movie set somewhere?
I have no idea, but those two are having a good year. They're the ones that are going to write, Dear Diary, this was the best year ever.
Sorry, Jennifer, we're putting our good thoughts on this year. Yeah, I think they're both having a good year. As if Taylor has ever had a bad year. Well, I guess the Kanye year was not so great.
Well, and she's had personal breakups and this and that. But this
That's
is
true.
like, this is everybody's riding high and hopefully appreciating the moment.
You and I have to do an end of the year. Who had a good year and who had a bad year?
We do.
I just thought of good examples.
It's completely subjective, but that's the world we live in. David, I love you.
It's always a pleasure, Melissa. It's always a pleasure. And next month is only 30 days away. Just think of it like that.
Oh, and we have so much content.
Oh God, this Diddy thing is not going away. So we're gonna have lots of.
We're gonna be eating out on this one for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll see you soon.
You got it.
Bye.